English language learners are prevalent in today's classroom. But what are you supposed to do if you are not fluent in the first language of a student? What strategies can you use as a teacher to build the literacy skills in your English language learners? That's coming up in this video. Hi everyone, I'm Leigh Hall from Literacy Teachers, and I'm all about helping you inspire, motivate, and change how your students read and write for academic success. If you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you get notifications because I put out new videos each week. So today we're thinking about how you work with English language learners when you are not fluent and maybe don't even speak a single word at all in their native language. Now, I was a middle school teacher for a while in Houston, Texas, and we had just a ton of different languages that were spoken in our school, and there was no way that a teacher could be expected to be fluent in all of those languages or even just be comfortable speaking very basically in the number of languages that we had represented in our school district. Now, obviously there's a range of literacy skills, experience, knowledge that students bring with them, right, to your classroom, and they're anywhere along a continuum, okay, in terms of being fluent in English. So given that there's a variety of factors, what I want to do is hit on 4 things that I think are really critical that you can think about regardless of where any of your English language learners may be in terms of their academic language development. So the first thing is English language learners are going to need a lot of vocabulary development, okay? And this is going to be true. They're going to need lots of vocabulary development in general, but also they're going to need a lot of help with academic vocabulary development. So constant exposure to both everyday social words as well as specific academic words, all right? And in some ways that's not going to be too much of a struggle because you're going to have to teach specialized content vocabulary to your native English speakers as well. Just know that your English language learners are probably going to need a little extra time, a little repeated exposure to grasp what those words mean. Now, another thing that you can do that can really help out with English language learners around vocabulary development is using context clues when you teach. And it not just academic vocabulary, but just sort of being mindful of what are some words that people might not know, right? Your students might not know the meanings of, and embedding the definitions around it. So for example, if I said, I was very apprehensive about the weather today, I could take the word apprehensive and I could build around that and say, I was very apprehensive or nervous. I was really nervous about the weather today. And talking like that will help English language learners expand the vocabulary because they are learning what the words mean. You're telling them repeatedly, you're giving them the definitions, all right? So that's just a habit of mind that you can get into. Number 2, build background knowledge to comprehend text. Your English language learners are going to need more background knowledge perhaps than a native English speaker in order to understand the content that you're trying to teach them. Number 3, modify for where they are, not where you think they should be. So you can't say, well, you're 15 years old or you're 12 years old, and all 12-year-olds or all 15-year-olds should be able to write in particular ways or read certain kinds of texts because they're learning English. So you have to take them where they are, make the modifications necessary to develop their reading and writing, and then give them appropriate assignments, expectations, and push forward, all right? And then finally, number 4, allow them to utilize their L1, right? There's nothing wrong with them utilizing their L1. If there is somebody in the classroom that speaks their L1, if there's a relative down the hall or another student down the hall, that's, it's fine to bring that student in sometimes and ask them to translate. Not all the time, obviously, but like sometimes there are very critical moments where the student will be supported if you can bring somebody in that speaks their native language and communicate something to them, and that can sort of get them over a hump. All right, so thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe so you can catch all my videos. And while you're at it, head down to the comments and let's talk about questions you have about working with English language learners. I look forward to hearing your questions, your advice, your comments, so that we can support one another as we inspire, motivate, and change how students read and write for academic success.